2, 1.
Yo people, peace and prosperity, and welcome back to More Valuable Voices with Jimmy Papez. I have a special guest with me today, Kevin Hudson. Obviously, I know him as KH, you understand?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, bro.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a long time coming. I can't even lie to you, man. It's been a long time coming, long time in the making. And it's crazy because obviously, obviously, viewers who don't know, obviously my whole music career, obviously my first ever visuals, first ever video that you even saw on YouTube or anything was obviously, due to you, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So this has
Early
been
days.
early days, but my first
days.
videographer for forever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say? Do you get it?
And then even for me, you were probably the second person I worked with.
100%.
Off the back of working with a good friend of ours.
Yeah, Strides, 100%. So even through that connection of obviously, I didn't know Strides personally, but I knew obviously he knows my people and they might know him. So then obviously we got connected that way. And then obviously it's just obviously this backstory. Do you get me? But obviously linked up. We just connected, man. We just all at we were all at the ground level at that time as well. Do you understand?
Before anything had really started.
Literally.
I think Link Up was just getting off the ground.
I think it was just SBTV at the time.
SBTV was just about started.
Yeah, so we're talking like 10 years.
10 plus
10 plus years, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's been a blessing, but obviously like I just love obviously seeing where obviously you've come, which I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were gonna. You get me? Like the belief in you from day dot was just there. Do you understand? Because literally, obviously, where we started working, we were literally just working non-stop as well at the time. You know what I'm trying to say? And we were all at ground level. And obviously, something that I admired and obviously just blew my mind at them times was just like, it's like you just knew, like anything I asked you, oh, can you do this? You just knew how to do it. Do you understand? You feel me? Like you just delivered. You feel me? Like even with making things look like, say we just had we got a location, the way that you would be able to make things look like you're in another country, even in a sense. You understand? Like, that's from early days. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
back then I can't lie, I was a nerd. I would stay at home, just research anything. And 100%. Even if you said, can you do this, and I didn't know how to do it, I'd say yes, and I'll go and learn how to do it. So
100%.
That was
proper.
I was into it. It was a proper passion for me. And it still is. It's like I still love it as much as I did then. But back then I was just hungry, so
100%,
hungry.
100%, bro. It was a great chemistry, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, shout out to anyone obviously who I've done work with and worked with before. Obviously, it's all that, but I'm yet to like find just that connection, that vibe, and that energy. Do you know what I'm saying? That we possessed at the time. It was just like, yeah, cool, got this. We go over it. I've got the whole how I want it to be. You bring it to life. You know what I'm saying? And it was never. What I always used to tell people as well was that I've never really had anyone who, like usually, you send the draft, the first draft, and all of that stuff. And usually it's like, oh yeah, can you put this there? Maybe I'll make it. But all the time it's like, yo, I'm cool with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just exceeded my expectations. You know what I'm trying to say, which was this.
Yeah, I even forgot about them. Times where it was just always first draft.
Crazy, lads. You know what I'm saying? That's the chemistry. You understand? It was
it's a good work.
It's rare to find, especially them times. You know what I'm saying? And even them times, obviously, like with Brother Business Entertainment, I was just thinking. I always used to say to you, bro, if I had the money there, bro, I'll just sign you over here, bro, because, bro, it was just too much, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
and then even we went on to work with all the people in Bread and Business and the team, so it wasn't just me and you. I spread, you understand? Because anyone asks me, you video, KH. KH, I ain't saying nobody else is KH, you get KH this, like, and then they're seeing obviously the videos and all of that stuff and the quality, and they're like, bro, who made the video? Like, KH, like, do you get me? It's different, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's been good, and obviously to see, we're gonna take it back to the beginning anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? This is just obviously me giving the people the backstory, the history, and obviously even just giving you your flowers. You get me, obviously, because I've seen the growth from, like I said, from the ground. You know what I'm trying to say? We're all at ground level and all of that stuff. You get me, and obviously it even grew me as an artist and just know in a sense what to expect from others, because you basically you set the standard when it comes to like dealing with videographers, directors, etc. Do you understand? Because
that was one thing for me is professionalism.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who I was working with, doesn't
100%.
matter their background, my background.
100%.
Professionalism was the main thing.
Yeah,
and
100%.
it's good that you clocked that and took away from our relationship and how we worked together like that. I was as professional as I could be at the time.
Most definitely.
So, and
that's important because you get well, obviously we all work with people and there's people that are not like that. You understand? And you know, when you're working with somebody like religiously at the time, it was religiously you're working like that. Obviously then when you get to this you know, bump into other people, work with other people and then they're not like that, it's just a big Debbie Downer in a sense, you understand? So
I know what you mean.
Yeah man, but
like going backwards almost.
Exactly, do you know what I'm trying to say? But that's just life, innit? You just got to charge.
Everyone's
that's
different.
Just how it is, exactly, do you understand? Yeah, so we're gonna take it back to the beginning of your film journey, like how it started, what inspired you, etc.
Yeah.
Give the floor to you, my bro. Let's go. Yo, people, peace and prosperity. This is your most valuable voices team, and this episode is sponsored by Tax Free. Yes, you know we have to do it for the culture, so
that's why we're bringing you an exclusive discount, 15% code MVV. Found in the link in the description below. Go there, copy yours, and be ready.
Yes, that is MVV15. When you go on the website to copy your drip, type that in, 15%. Yeah, let's get it.
So, as I said, it was a friend of ours, or a mutual friend, Strides, and we went college together from when I was, college days, like you're 16, 17. Yeah, so them times going college, I was studying sport, so completely different to film. And Strides was just like, I used to do music and I'm trying to get back into music, and I had a camera. I think it was probably my mom's camera at the time. And he was like, can you shoot my video? And I was like, let's do it. Because at the time even though I was doing sport, I was dabbling into other things. Like I was doing a bit of graphic design on Photoshop. I was doing websites, anything creative. I was just touching on that because I wasn't feeling the sport. I realised when you're that young, you study sport and you think you're going to be playing sport, you're going to be doing stuff 100%. Right around sport, but yes, that's a lot of theory. So I thought to myself, I want to get creative.
100%.
So that's when I picked up the camera, filmed the first video with Strides, and then from there, second video, third video, and then I think, like you said, it was your people knew his people, and then you've obviously seen the visuals now,
100%.
and then you ended up being my second client, filmed with you, and then Strides is more of Strides' friends, more of your friends, and then it just grew and grew and grew. So that's kind of where it started, me just working with a good friend of mine in college, and then growing it with mutual friends off the back of that. And then in terms of what inspired me at that time, because it was new, there weren't really many there was other directors, obviously. Camera U was about, there was establishments and there was platforms for music videos to be shown, but there weren't as many, like we said, Link Up TV, GRM, they were all just getting started. SBTV was just getting started, so I weren't inspired by what was out there because we were starting a new thing. But obviously we've all seen a music video before, like from what they've done in the States and what they've done early Channel U days, so that definitely inspired me to a certain extent. But I think the main inspiration was probably just YouTube, because even back then YouTube was a new thing. I think I shot my first video in 2009 and YouTube had started in 2006 and 2006 times there weren't even music videos on YouTube. It was just nonsense, Charlie bit my finger and so even for YouTube it was early days, so I was just seeing I was just seeing everything being uploaded onto YouTube, and I was thinking, wow, these are just normal people creating crazy stuff. Not only obviously there was nonsense on there like what I just said, but there was people creating some good stuff,
of course.
And I was thinking, right, if they can do that and they're just kids from anywhere, I can pick up the camera and do the same thing. But mine started with music videos and led me towards music videos as opposed to just YouTube videos.
So even like with like obviously Strides is saying, do you want to shoot his first video for him and all of that stuff,
obviously the inspiration for, is that, did you, at the time when he asked you that, did you know, like, yeah, I can shoot that, or was it a thing where it's like, right, he's asking me to do it, so I'm just gonna just rise to the occasion in a sense?
It was probably, it was a rise to the occasion type of conversation, because I definitely hadn't shot a music video, and I'd never planned to shoot a music video. It's just because he asked, and like I said, if I was a geek when it came to learning stuff back then. Like I would want to know everything about a camera, everything about a computer, everything. I wanted to know it all. So being that he put that challenge on me, and I'm just naturally a competitive person, I was like, cool. I took it as a challenge in a way that you want me to shoot the video, I'll learn it and I'll do it. So
he delivered.
And I delivered. But even on the first video, the maddest thing is we went out and shot a bunch of scenes. We probably shot like 4 different locations, loads of different scenes. But at the time, my computer was too slow to even edit. So the first video that you saw from me and Strides was just a one take with him just sitting in front of something performing, because I couldn't even chop the video up.
Chop it,
So,
you know what, even around them times, that's pretty much how a lot of videos were anyway. It's just like one kind of take.
One solid thing on a tripod, and that's literally what it was. And then after that, I can't remember if I probably upgraded my computer or borrowed somebody's computer, and the second video I was able to chop it up and keep going, and then just invest in myself.
So the craziest thing, which was mad, it's still mad now, but even at the time when you was telling me, was like you self-taught yourself on YouTube, you know?
Everything. So at that time, again, YouTube was early days, so there weren't many tutorials. Like you go on YouTube nowadays and you can find out how to do anything. Like the way I see YouTube now is like the Matrix, you know, where Neo gets plugged in and that's what YouTube is nowadays. But back then, there was very limited tutorials, so I'll go and see what I could learn based off maybe what a camera ISO is, maybe what shutter speed is, the fundamentals, and then I'll take what I knew and just apply it to real life scenarios and just practice on set basically, or what we considered was a set back then. Thankfully, people like yourself, Strides, and then the friends around us I was able to learn whilst
because at them times there, that's what I'm trying to say, like you were at a level that was already like it was at a mad level, it was like elite level already at them times. And that's what was always just like, I was dumbfounded by thinking, oh, what do you mean? So what, you just went on, like you self-taught yourself this, like what you do? Because usually them times there, the taboo is, oh yeah, you go uni and go study them, so you think when you study it, this is how you get there. Whereas obviously, well, you done your own studying, to be fair, you know what I'm saying? Like you went and done your own thing.
Because for me, I never liked studying. Like if I enjoyed it, like filming, I enjoyed it, and I studied, and that's what I learned it myself. But I weren't about to go back to college or uni to learn again, because I'd already been college, and I think I was probably just starting uni, and then even in uni, I studied computing, so it kind of helped because I understood how computers work, but it weren't necessarily the filming. So
and that's important, you know, even like for that, you know, obviously the most valuable viewers and that like tuned in, like to just know obviously that you have to actually like know yourself, whether like how you learn things, like and what sticks with you. Do you understand? Because obviously you're saying, I didn't really like, you know, like learning like things like that,
by the book
kind of thing. Do you understand? Because a lot of people would just think that's just what it is, because obviously we've all been taught that. Do you understand? That's near enough like the norm. We've been taught that, but
like you go to school or you go to college.
But then you have to know like whatever suits you and whatever fits you best. You just have to kind of go with that in order to excel yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
You can't force yourself to do anything. Like there's certain things like people be like, oh, you got to read on something. If you're not a reader, you're not going to read. If you're more of a visual person where you can watch something and learn, then that's what you have to go and do.
Exactly that. And that's what I am. I'm definitely a visual learner.
I'm saying
hands-on learning as well. I don't like reading. I've probably read like, it sounds bad, but I've probably read like 3 books in my entire life. I can't like I would much rather listen to an audiobook. Or you know, on YouTube nowadays they'll have they'll turn the book into like an animated series, 100%. And then that's how I'll read a book or 100%. Take in the knowledge from a book. So it's not to say I've not taken in knowledge from books. 100%. I just don't like reading them.
The thing, see, I like reading. But even taking in things, it takes me a bit longer. Even if I'm reading something, I have to read it probably more times, kind of thing. But
I'm the same,
visually though, and that's the thing as well. Even I always remember like, I don't know if you remember, but I would always ask you mad questions, like even on set. As me being the artist and you being the videographer, and I would ask you just mad questions about other things, everything actually, and just soak it all in from what you're telling me, because I was like obviously I have B&B, and I knew that I have to be self-reliant myself, so I know I'm gonna have to buy a camera, I'm gonna have to buy certain lights and all of these things, that just at least know how certain things work. Do you understand? For like if I have to do something myself, do you understand? So I used to always just be soaking up mad game and just asking questions, and that's another thing. People need to just ask questions, because you know. And there's a lot of people, I'm sure you obviously, there's a lot of people that, cool, you just leave it to you. And we even had conversations before, obviously, when I used to be like, I'm not that guy that just leaves anything to just anyone to do. Like, I'll tell you what I want, and then you add your magic, and then that's how you come together. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
that was one thing about you, definitely, you were hands-on. And
like,
you knew what you wanted, and you would ask the questions, definitely.
And then you always delivered. It was perfect, I can't lie, it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? It was good still. So your support system, obviously, you can say Strides, me, you know, and all of that, everyone mutual, you know, was obviously a support system, but like, how good has your support system been aside from that, or, you know, like...
in terms of...
Like even family or anything?
So in terms of family, with my mum, for example, for her, it was just make sure I go college and uni and finish them first before I do anything else, because again, back then it weren't really a thing to be a director. 100%. And even for me back then, I was like, I really want to do this and I want to make this a thing, but I know at some stage I'm going to have to find a real job. That's what I had in my head.
Of course.
But I'm going to do it for as long as I can. And with that in mind, I just done college, done uni, keep mum happy. And then, even when I got a job, because I was working in Walthamstow, and even when I got that first job, I said to myself, I want this to be my first and last job.
Last job.
And I was like, even though I feel like this isn't gonna be my life, this isn't gonna be my life career at the time, that's what I was thinking.
It's a stepping stone, isn't it?
It's a stepping stone, and I do want a normal, like my 9 to 5 back then, to be my only 9 to 5 I ever had. So.
I mean, even I remember, even like, there must have definitely been, even though they had their ideals, like your mum and that, I know that they were still support, because I remember when you done your freestyle series, I was at your house. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know.
My mum would let me.
You know what I'm trying to say? So obviously, because you know how parents are, they love you, they want the best for you, however, they just want to have it like concrete, like, yo, just get your education to fall back on, because their generation, more time, there weren't really many entrepreneurs or anything like that, or creatives anyway, especially.
It wasn't normal. And it worked back then for you to study, go and get a job, and you could then afford a house and afford certain stuff, and you can live a good life. But nowadays you can't really just go and get a normal 9 to 5 and afford all the necessities that you need in life. So we kind of had to think outside the box and do things outside of what our mums and dads know. So like I said, as long as I kept her happy in terms of finishing school, finishing college, and getting a normal job to prove that I can fit into society and can do it. She was supportive. Like, I could turn up with a bunch of guys and film a freestyle series in my house, or I could say I'm going out for a couple of weekends to film somewhere outside of London or even abroad, and she'll support it. 100%. But she knew I was
funding, man. You need to it's a very expensive business. You know what I'm saying? It's very expensive.
And then, as well, back then I knew about finances. I had a good understanding about finances. So all the cameras I had, I got them through my own name, through what are they? Interest-free loans. There's one website called Wex Photographic. It's probably still around now.
Wix or Wex?
Wex. W-E-X.
Okay.
It's like Jessops. So back then, this is when I upgraded my camera, and from when I went from using my mum's camera to owning my own. So I went on their website and I saw that you could buy this camera interest free. You pay like £100 a month, and obviously it's yours after that. So
of course, that's it.
Again, once I showed my mum, look, I can do this. I can do it myself. I don't need your money. I don't need your help. I'm good. I understand what I'm doing, and I'm gonna make something of this. Then she kind of relaxed a little, and then when she started to see maybe a £50 here coming in or £100 there coming in, and
yeah.
me not doing anything wild in terms of money or just.
Okay, it's makers side.
It's
It's crazy actually. Let's go to that point about like how much was like. I can't remember. I'm sure the first, your first charging of how much you charged for your videos that first time.
I'm pretty sure it was £50.
It went. I'm sure because I remember it going like. I'm sure it was like 50. Then it went like 80.
Yeah.
Then it went 120. I remember the 120.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember the 120. Do you understand?
Because there was a lot back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the 120. Then it went 150. Then it went 2 bill, then 250 or something like that. Then
I kept implementing 50 each time.
100%.
I thought to myself, alright, cool, I'm getting better now.
Yeah, 100.
And I kept investing into myself. So I bought that camera, the interest-free one from that place.
Yeah.
And then I bought lenses, and then I was buying lights. And then even at one point, I bought a crane that I had no idea how to use it. And I'm pretty sure we used it on a shooting. Remember we went to the car park?
Yeah.
And
what's the painting that you?
That
It goes up and down. Yeah.
So I think your shoot there was the first time I used it as well.
Yeah.
And I was just buying lots of different things again that I was researching and finding out about online, and people using on YouTube and using in their music videos, etc. I'm thinking, alright, cool. Let's find the cheaper version of what they use. and then buy it myself.
Yeah.
So it's just increasing my price as I was interested in investing into myself.
Of course. And so for you, so we're in now, we're shooting regularly, obviously clientele's, picking up.
Early days I was still working as well, so I was still part. I think at the first I was full time and doing shooting on the weekend. And then I went part time and shooting. And that's probably around this time.
Yeah, because I do remember. I remember actually when you just said, you're leaving your job. You just did this full time. I was like, my guy. I'm thinking, my guy.
That was a big step. That was a big step because again, I always understood my finances, and I was like, alright, cool. If I can make this amount a month, then I'm good. As long as I can save, because I had a car at the time. I had certain bills. Maybe I had to give mum a little money here and there. And I was like, cool, if I can make, I think it was like, I tallied it up to like £300-400 a month, then I was good.
100.
And I managed to get it.
I heard that still. So after that, it was, where did it, after that when you left, obviously, so not what made you, because we know obviously you already were, that was the plan. But obviously, what was it at that time that made you think, I can do this now, basically, and I'm going to do this now? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you said you tallied it up, but was it like, obviously, you were just getting, you were getting booked left, right, and centre? What?
I think it was definitely the regular bookings, and then there was one video that kind of just took off, and that was Bassman and Shocktown. That video there was when everybody in the industry kind of recognised what I could do.
So that's what the industry look.
That got me the industry look, because I've been working with people from Walthamstow, Hackney. I've been working with a few people from East that people in them areas knew, but not the industry knew.
100%.
And then when I did that video, even then, Bassman and Shocktown weren't the biggest of artists, and I think even for them that blew them up as well. And off the back of that, I then started to get a look in from Link Up TV, and then I joined their team and then started doing videos for them, and that's really what took off. And then I was like, alright, cool. Now, now I'm in, and this is an actual career now that I can see 100%. Myself.
So what were you like on a payroll with them? Was it just video basis?
Just video basis.
So anything to do with the video is yours, or is it cut they get?
So the way they work is, as long as they get the video to upload it onto their channel, they're good, because obviously they're getting paid off the back end, and I'm getting paid from the artist. Or if it's a release that they're exclusively paying for, then they'll pay me.
Makes sense.
So it was them giving me the work and getting paid by the artist, and then on the side of that, I was still free to do my own thing. So let's say you called me, I could still go and do my own thing, or anybody really. So
100%.
I weren't tied to them, but I was their main guy. Me and Adi OG at the time. So we were doing a lot, and at that time, that's when like 4K was just becoming a thing. I remember going back to investing in myself. I thought I need to be the first one with a 4K camera. So I bought a Panasonic, I think GH4 at the time. It was.
Have you shot me with that? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
You have. Yeah.
Pretty sure I have.
So I feel like I remember that.
That was the same video that we was talking about with the crane. I'm pretty sure that was on that camera. And that's kind of what helped me stand out in terms of style, because it was very clean, 4K. And obviously my work was being dished out through Link Up TV, so everyone was seeing it at that stage, because they were a big thing at that time.
And that's what I was trying to say. That was that, again, to go back, that was something. That's something that obviously even I was like looking at, thinking, wow, like your visuals are just mad clean from back then. It's just always been clean though. Like, obviously it gets cleaner with obviously. Do you understand? But like it was just bro. But it was just, I don't know. It was just always a different look to everybody else's that was around. You know what I'm trying to say? Which was it just held you a step higher in a sense. You understand? And it was just that thing like the color grading, you were just like, that was your like thing as well. Like you took pride in the color. Was it great? Is it color grading?
Color grading. Same thing.
Yeah. So like them little things there, like
like I said, it was just practicing, researching, and seeing what other people could do on same setups as mine. Because I was seeing people with the same camera, pretty much making films, and I'm thinking, how can you make your thing like that? I have to match you. And then bring that to our culture and our music scene. So
100%.
That's my thought behind it, and that's how I was growing and growing.
Yeah, no, I rate it. Still, like I've always been obviously a fan of your work, and just a fan of you and your hard work and just your innovation. You know, I said the way that you're just cool, do this. I don't know how to do it. Go research that and just go see. And trying to be just the best at your game. And I always knew you were gonna get to where you're at. You know what I'm trying to say? I always knew that. You understand? So.
And the maddest thing is yourself, and there was a few people around me early days were always like, "You're gonna make it."
No,
I couldn't even see it at the time. I was like, I know. I believe in myself, and people are saying it, but I don't think I'm gonna get to where I got to. It was good that people like yourself and people around had the belief in me.
It was just real. I couldn't fake it, bro. It was just like, bro, it's just like I keep saying, bro. It was just like I was just mind blown. I was thinking, bro, there's no way that you're just this hard, man. It's just you're just not where these men are or where you need to be. Do you understand? But you got there.
Timing,
of course, it's always timing. Do you understand? So I need to ask, like, what is it like being in the industry, like the pros and cons? Because you know, there's like a little like taboo stigma around the word industry. Do you get it? But what's it like actually when you're actually in it? Because then it's like it like short term, like it's like where people say, like, oh, you made it in there, but then if you go to Hollywood, it's different kind of thing. So what's it kind of like being in the industry when you're actually in it? Like the pros and cons.
The pros, obviously, you're getting work. Everybody knows who you are, exposure, and you're at a place now where obviously you still have to worry in terms, because you might wake up tomorrow and no one wants to book you. But at the same time, you know there's going to be work for you if you work hard enough and you put yourself out there, and you still have to grind a little. But it's nice being in a position where people at least know your name. So.
Because once they know your name, it's kind of like, you know, they trust.
The work talks for itself, because I remember back in the day turning up on video shoots where it would be a case of maybe you recommended me to somebody, or somebody's just heard my name but doesn't necessarily know who I am, and they'll be like, oh, what have you done? Why are you the cameraman? And they're questioning why I'm doing the job, even though they booked me and they're happy for me to do the job, but just those questions, they want to know, and it's only right. That's business, isn't it? You want to know what that person's done. Whereas now it's like, you're Kevin. Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And they're telling you what videos you shot. I saw that video that you shot with that person. You get it, 100%.
Which that's a great feeling, and it's always that's definitely a pro of being somebody in the industry of notable kind of character and work and notable work. So that's great. But in terms of the cons,
keep it real, keep it real.
just the usual politics, like dealing with like labels and maybe like artists that aren't as nice to work with as others, and what else? Just a massive pain of mine is just when there's multiple chefs in the kitchen. Like that's a big thing when you're working in the industry and when you're working with a team.
That's what you mean. Okay.
So let's say for example we're working with a big artist. They've had radio play, they've had chart success, etc. That person likely going to be signed to a label, and then with the label you've got the A&R, you've got the execs, you've got the artists themselves, you've got their manager, you've got their team, you've got the creative team, you've got the commissioners, you've got everybody, and they all have their input into that one little video that's like 3 minutes long. So they're having to cram everything, everyone's opinions, and keep everybody happy within the space of 3 minutes. And that's like my pet peeve, and that's the main kind of con within the industry and working with bigger artists.
But even I was gonna say, even with like because even like you said with the team, like with the artist team, what about like a video team? Because now I've only realised that usually obviously we're used to like, well I'm booking you, that's you, bro. Like you get me calm, but then now it's like you, then you got someone who is behind you, holding you there, and then there's someone that's got the lights, and there's someone that's doing this, and someone that's doing that. And obviously I was talking to another artist, and he's obviously done like the signing thing where he's signed certain deals and whatever, you know, and then I was asking him, what's the difference between like what's a big budget and what's a low budget, and what do you get with that in a sense? And then that's what he was basically saying. It's like near enough you're paying for like the whole team of
paying for people's time and their expertise.
You get me? Like you know what I'm saying? But then I feel like, well I don't feel like anything, but I'm asking, is everyone always needed in them like situations? Like, or is it just?
It depends, because with me, I can do everything that you've seen in the like from the early days even till now. I still shoot certain videos by myself. And there's directors out there that can't do everything, so their team is they need their team. But I prefer, like nowadays, I would rather have a team, just because I don't want to be doing everything. I don't want to have to put the lights up and kind of I just want to get my vision across like whatever I've done in the treatment and the mood board. So with solely directing, I always prefer to have a team. But if you've called me and you're like, I just need a quick video and this is the vision, and then we can just bounce ideas quickly, then I feel confident enough and I can just turn up and do it myself, then I don't mind doing that as well. As long as I can make it as good as my work when I'm working with a team, because again, I don't want to step backwards.
No, 100%. But actually, we'll get into that. God,
anyway. But like I said, I can do everything. I can still turn up and shoot a whole video and make it look good. Even the other day, me and Josh off camera, it was just me and him and a lighting guy, and we shot a whole video, and like it's probably one of my favourite videos of recent times that I've done, because there's a storyline to it. It weren't a large team that slowed, because that's another thing. When you've got a large team, it slows you down a bit as well, because you have to communicate with people and you have to wait for people to work at their pace. Whereas when it's you and a small team that you know how each other's work, you can clock on and get through it quickly.
So I was gonna say to that point. So do you feel, even like when you said obviously you don't wanna, obviously what you're shooting now, then you don't obviously wanna like go back, no one wants to go backwards and all of that stuff. So do you feel like you've outgrown like, which is cool, but do you feel like you've outgrown like certain people then now, because then you could only shoot people, I guess, not like you can only shoot people just with big budgets or whatever, not, but you're in that. So then say, if for instance, say even me, so I wanted to come and be like, yo, let's shoot something, whatever, not. How would you feel like, that's going backwards? Not in that like no disrespectful way, but just going backwards in the sense of like the level that you're shooting at now, and then trying to like still adhere to that.
No, it depends. Like if you call me and you said, because I think what was the first video? We shot it by somewhere in Stowe and you were sitting on the stairs. Here I am. If you call me like, I want to recreate Here I Am, where I'm sitting on the stairs, I'll be like, we've done that already.
You know me, but I've never been in a conversation if I phone you. You get it?
But basically, what I'm trying to say, if you're calling me and you're trying to do a video that we've done 5 years ago, then that's for me stepping backwards. Like we're doing stuff that we've done time ago or that we've seen already from other artists. Whereas if you call me like, Kevin, I've got this sick idea, no one's done it before, or if they have done it, then I'm going to do it this way and make it 10 times better, and I just need your expertise and facilities to make it happen. Then I'll be like, alright, cool. If it piques my interest, then I'll be like, cool, let's make it happen. And even if you said, alright, cool, I don't have a budget of £10,000 or £20,000, but I've got this amount, but I'm going to call in these favours, and then I can call in these favours off of the people I know and make it happen, then I'm down to do that. Again, that's similar to what happened the other day, where it was just a few favours and then just doing stuff that we knew nobody else had done before. So we made it look sick.
Okay, I get that still. So what is your budget? What are you charging that, cuz? Because you get me, like I'm sure you're on grands. Like.
It depends, because nowadays how it works in like the industry.
Are you still on Link Up though, or are you on?
No.
Okay,
so I'm still good with Link Up. We're still like cool, but we're not. I'm not under them because they don't really focus on music videos anymore. They're more content, documentaries and lifestyle stuff. So they're not really focused too much on shooting and putting out music videos.
Yeah, we're gonna get into like the Link Up and Grand Daily later and how they.
So what was the question again? So
what was the question again? We talked about shooting.
Pricing. Yeah, so how it works in the industry is the director gets 10% of the budget, and when we're talking budgets, they're typically, when you're working with labels, they start from about 5,000 and then they can go up to tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands. So
what if you're the director as well though?
Yes, so the director gets 10%.
So you director and the videographer, you get.
So when you're working with so when you're working with budgets now, let's say you get a budget of 10 grand, I have to show that I'm putting that 10 grand to good use. So I have to get a team. I can't just turn up with my camera and be like, guys, we're filming and I'm pocketing the 10 grand. 100%, like the labels and whoever's spending that 10 grand want to know that it's gone to places.
Good use,
before I've even turned up to shoot, I'll have to do a budget breakdown and show them, alright, this is gonna go here.
Let's go. Yo people, peace and prosperity. This is your most valuable voices team, and this episode is sponsored by Tax Free. Yes, you know we have to do it for the culture, so
that's why we're bringing you an exclusive discount, 15%, code MVV. Found in the link in the description below. Go there, copy yours, and be ready.
Yes, that is MVV15. When you go on the website to copy your drip, type that in, 15%. Yeah, let's get it.
£1,000 going to go towards the lights, £1,000 going to go towards hiring these bigger and better cameras, etc., etc. Obviously, they're not the prices; they can be inflated and so on and so forth. But it's typically the direct, whatever the budget is, before anything gets cut or before any money gets taken out, the director's going to get his 10%, and then everything else is taken from. So that's how budgets work and how label world works. And then let's say it's an independent artist. I try not to leave my house for less than £1,000 basically. So that's not to say
come on, your work speaks for yourself. Like you're at a place where you can say that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people in the industry or even out the industry. They know their worth, so they're like, I ain't leaving. I've heard that many times. People like, I don't leave for this amount. Do you understand? I hear that.
And even that's on a favour. So again, going back to what we were saying, it's like if I like the song and I like the idea that you're coming with, then I'll think, alright, cool. Oh, this is my price. If you're happy with that, then we'll make something happen. But
so if we're talking third party, but if we're talking that, so say if it's a Strides on me.
So if it's Strides on you, for example, like I'm pretty sure I've even shot with Strides recently, and he's never paid me anywhere near that. So, and then same with you. If you call me and you're like, you need a video, I'm not going to charge you near that, because one thing with me, I respect where I've come from.
Yeah,
and I appreciate the people that have put me up.
100.
So that goes for music videos, that goes for just life in general. Yeah,
100%.
So I'll always show love where where love
And
is
you
due.
definitely, even like when I was obviously where you've moved up and I was just still doing my thing, obviously you showed me to the you gave me the links to like the link ups and all that stuff, you get me, like
always try and help.
Yeah, come on.
And sometimes it might, because I'm a bit busy now, it might
You
take
will
a
leave
little
your bed for months and months and months, don't get twisted, you get me, but
because even this was meant to happen a couple of months back.
Nah, literally.
But I was just busy and it couldn't happen, but I never forget. And I'll always try and reach back and if the budget's not there, or if you just need a favour, then I'll try and
no, 1000%, man. I remember always respect that you get 100% still. Because it shows character, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that lose themselves, like literally just lose themselves along the way and all of that stuff, you get me? But it's always nice to know that people are still tuning in to like where they came from, and they respect the people who respect them and obviously uplifted them, and you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, do you understand? Just, again, that's another rare thing.
No, it is.
Like, you see people and they just, they take off, they think, everyone, whatever, you understand?
And it's a generational thing as well. I feel like our generation is the last of that.
Yeah,
where
1000%.
Like, it's the 28-year-olds and maybe above that really have loyalty and respect to.
I'm glad you said that as well. We speak about that a lot. We speak about that a lot, about the manners of respect and the loyalty kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And the next generations that are below us and all of that stuff, it's different out here.
And that's not to say there's not people younger than that don't have it, because they definitely do, and they've probably been brought up around people like us and people that have them same manners and respect.
100%.
But it's definitely a generational thing.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
It's just we're enough to decide on that topic.
That's what we do. Listen, it's all knowledge, you understand? Yeah, because there's people that I might say something and they may not want to hear it from me, but then obviously you have notoriety, they may want to hear it from you. It might stick to someone. You know what I'm saying? This is why like, the conversation, I have this itinerary here, it's just to help, but then obviously we always navigate around it, do you understand? Because it's just normal conversation. That's why I like just a conversation. Like,
and it's all based around business and life and career. Exactly. They all tie into one.
Indeed. So man, speak about some of your accolades. If you had any mind-blowing moments. Your accolades though, definitely. There's plenty.
There's a few now. I think for me, where I was really impressed with myself and happy with the way my career was going was when I was working with people that my mum grew up listening to, like Beanie Man and Red Rat. Maybe she didn't grow up listening to them, but she knows who they are.
It's that era.
That era. So when I'm telling my mum, I'm flying to Jamaica to film with Beanie Man and Red Rat and these kind of people, she's like, oh right, and then she's calling the family and she's like, Kevin, and
that's a great feeling.
That was an amazing feeling. Like when mum and my dad as well, they can tell the family that what I'm doing and name drop people that everybody knows. So that was a good moment for me. And then like other accolades are like winning the Mobo.
I see that.
That was a good moment. Because that was just random. Like a good, like if anybody that knows me that's watching this knows I work with NSG quite a lot. So for us to win it as well as a collective, and 100%. It meant more than maybe just winning it with somebody that I don't regularly work with.
Of course.
That was a good moment, and then being recognised for my work from places like Box Park and them highlighting my work and then being written about in complex magazines and even being on TV. I was on BBC Rap Game.
I see that, bro.
There's a few things and I forget about it all, to be honest, and it's not until I get asked the question it comes back. And that's another good thing. It's just good to go back and look at what you've done and appreciate what you've done.
Because sometimes obviously you don't when you're in it, in the midst of it, you don't really count your wins like too tough, and then you win, like you said, when it gets brought back to you, like, right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that, because I'm sure I'm probably even missing things that I've done, but there's been a few things that when I first started, I thought to myself, I'm not going to reach there, because like I said, it was never I wanted it to be a career because I loved it, but I didn't think it could be because there just weren't enough money in it back then. So for me to be in this position now and have the accolades and be like respected as a director, it's
and
amazing.
working with like obviously all these artists, like has anyone, obviously you said being man, has any artist just like blown your mind like working with them in a sense?
I think recently, for me, Papoose was a crazy one. That was a crazy one. Again,
he shows UK a lot of love still.
And even on that day, he was super humble, super cool. Everybody that stepped to him, he would shake their hand and have a conversation with them.
Shout out Papoose.
Because again, he's one that I grew up listening to. I remember school days when everyone was on grime and listening to Channel U. I was listening to the Papooses
the American rap.
and the Jadakisses, the Styles. I was listening to all of them kind of people. So even though Ed Sheeran, one of the biggest artists in the world, and he was on that record, I was more guest to meet and work with Papoose than I was Ed Sheeran. Because even though Ed is big, I didn't grow up listening to him.
100%.
So, 100%. Papoose was definitely a moment. And then in the UK, I don't know. I really wanted to work with Wretch, and then because I rated him, I eventually got around to working with him, so that was a moment as well. And then, funny enough, he was one of the first people that I worked with when I joined Link Up. When I joined Link Up, they were just like, oh, first video we've got is a Wretch video. And that was just out of nowhere. Like, they've seen my work and they're like, yeah, come down to shoot this Wretch video. And I thought I was going to be doing BTS or something, but they were like, nah, bring your camera. We're going to be shooting. So that was just random. I didn't even expect that to happen, the way that happened. So
what, have you had anything like when you got paid a significant amount for a video where you were like mind blown, like, raw?
No, there's been videos where I've made quite a bit, over the 5K numbers for one video.
Wicked.
So it's definitely a career path that can pay you well, 100%, and you can do well from it.
You just have to follow your footsteps, really. Obviously, there's a lot that you've said, and so that can be a defining factor of what separates you from the rest, or separates anyone from, because you, like you said, it's like you didn't know anything, you take it, or you jump in, you know what I'm saying, head first kind of thing, and then you just go and researching it and making sure that you know, and then not even only that, you're making sure that you know, but then you're making sure that you're trying to be the best at it that you can be. Do you understand? So the dedication and determination is there. Do you understand? And that's sometimes so for a lot of people, it varies though, because a lot of people, they have they have that determination, they have the hard work and all of that stuff, but then they're just missing something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with me, I would say my work rate, all of that crazy, mad, like the drive, the passion, the belief, all of that stuff. I don't feel maybe the connections, I missed the connections, do you understand? That kind of thing, do you understand that? So sometimes we get in our own way. We do get in our own way, sometimes we're a bit hard-headed to certain things and shit, you feel me?
Yeah, no, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and even for me, like, I'm not one to, I don't like going to events and networking. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, I'll go to certain events, don't get me wrong, and I've made connections at certain events, but let's say after this podcast, somebody calls me and is like, Kev. Talk show. After this talk show, somebody calls me like, Kev, there's an event down in wherever. Do you want to come? I'll probably say no. I just don't like being around too many people. And that, for me, and for certain people in this industry, that can be a weakness, because you need to get out and you need to meet people, you need to network, because networking is key. It is your network.
100%.
It definitely helps.
That's key, 100%. Still. It's definitely
so that's probably one of my weaknesses, but everything else, like you said, I'm passionate, I'm determined, I'm driven, I'll get things done.
You're looking to learn,
looking to learn,
And the thing about that is as well, it's so crazy, because obviously, where I told you, like, I'm still in retirement, 2 years in from music, I had to take that step back and just forget about music in a sense, and just build up my other stuff, like talk show and clothing and all of that stuff. That's when I even started just tapping into myself and start thinking, alright, let me start going to network now. And you know what I'm saying? Let me go take up my poetry and spoken word and all of these little things there that I wouldn't have done when I was just so
focused on music.
Do you understand?
So sometimes you've got to step back sometimes and think, right, like, because obviously, don't get me wrong, like, I still don't like networking because it's the reason I didn't like it is because, not like I don't like humans like that. I don't like human beings like that. Anyway,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like I don't. But, and then it's like when you go and put yourself out now, you think, I'm networking now. It's like, yeah, you'll network with someone. So say for instance, like I network with your boy Josh, like off screen, like you get me, and like I said, yeah man, like we had a good interaction, it's all love. And then obviously you get me, like I'm a person who likes to just build rapport, so I'll go chat to him on the ground now, and then the energy's just
not there,
like so it's just like right, like I'm a genuine real person, I like real interactions, not this fake hair you're just doing it just because, you understand? And that's probably why I don't like the networking. However, it's needed. It is needed.
And one way I do deal with it is like the industry's not a real world. That's how I see it.
100%.
It's
You have to separate yourself.
You have to separate yourself.
100%.
Like you can't take anybody's like conversation too literal and too serious.
100%.
You can't. If somebody promises you, one thing I've always had at the back of my head is nobody owes me nothing.
Yeah, 1000%, bro.
Like if anybody says anything to me, I kind of take it like, okay, yeah,
pinch
cool.
of salt.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
And then you can never be disappointed.
100%.
Like if it doesn't happen. So
because a lot of people have too much expectations, and I've learned to just not have any expectations of anything.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Charge it to the game. Like,
exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly. And that's one thing. Like my mum's always told me that don't take anything from anybody and don't expect anything from anybody. So when you have that mentality with just life in general, no one can really disappoint you.
100%.
Only your loved ones.
And even that though, no, but you charge it the same to that though.
And even then,
yeah, because you I don't like to. I mean, you do hold family obviously higher, like and whatever, not and close people, but it can all just be the same.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to treat it, because everybody is human. No matter who they could be a mom, like that's it's still human. Like everyone's human. So that's even how I treat it. Like in a whole, it's like anybody can. I don't take whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't really take whatever. It just I take it for how it is. That's it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
If you do get it, it's a bonus.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're happy for it.
Because no one ain't coming to save no one.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to get out of their mind. Like no one ain't coming to save you but yourself. You understand that? As much as we need help and we want this and we want that, but boy, you got the universe gives it to you if you go out and go try to get it. You understand?
100%. And it's just time and hard work. You will get there. It sounds cliche, but it
it's
really
real.
does.
It's real. Trust me.
It works.
Well, way more questions anyway, bro, but we're gonna just cut and get into the game. Yeah, we got a little talk show game kind of thing. Yeah, so nothing that's gonna incriminate. It might do, I don't know, but it is what it is. Obviously, we just
try to stay free.
Yeah, we just require that you answer, truthfully and all of that stuff. Obviously, you're just gonna pick out. I'm gonna read it out, and then obviously you just answer correctly.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, don't know who wrote these, but you get me. It's just one of them things, bro. So yeah,
it's a good one.
It might be. Who knows? But, cheers. Let's see. Fuck yeah.
It's wild. Isn't it?
It's wild. It says here favorite porn category. I ain't lying. Favorite porn category.
What? I don't know, it changes.
That's changed. Alright, favorite porn category as of recent then?
I don't even know. Probably has to be. Keep it PG, even though it's not a PG topic, but it's just Ebony.
Ebony.
Keep it.
Ebony, say no more.
That's as PG as it's going to get on that category.
That's it, Ebony.
Ebony.
Okay, if you could write a book, what genre would you write in? Mystery, thriller, romance, crime, fiction.
Probably be crime.
Crime.
Like, I'm into crime, documentaries and crime stuff.
Thrillers and all that stuff.
I love all that stuff.
Crime, yeah.
Yeah, it have to be, and something that is close to home as well. I like crime stories that are close to home.
Well, now you be like, this happened in
like
the town.
Or maybe Birmingham. Something that I can drive.
Reachable,
Even though that sounds mad. It's like, why would you want that happening around you?
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, you connected it. Cool, another one, my bro. Yeah, see what I'm saying.
Okay, in your opinion, which fast food restaurant has the best fries? McD's, Burger King, KFC, or Five Guys?
Probably Five Guys at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. It's changed over the years. At first, Burger King was my favourite. It was my go-to.
I told everybody that Burger King had the magic chips.
Yeah, they had the maddest fries.
Burger King had the magic
But then they
fries.
fell off.
They did.
And then I think for a while, it was probably McD's.
Yeah, straight.
I don't think KFC's ever had it.
Nah, they haven't.
Like, they've
Yeah.
never
Even
had
when
it.
they changed it. Just
And then Five Guys, I think it's because they make it like they actually cut their potatoes.
Yeah. That's what KFC changed theirs to do.
Is that what they do?
More potato, like
Okay.
they cut it back proper like that, but it's weren't hitting.
I can appreciate a good, properly prepared cut potato. But I know the rest of them, they're not doing that. McDonald's not going through that headache, and Burger King's definitely not going through that headache.
Yeah,
So.
I like the way you said, trust me, because there's a lot of people like, well, Burger King. I'm like, bro, you remember back in the day, you had to remember they had the maddest fries.
Burger King had the maddest
Yeah,
fries. I
fries.
remember there was a Burger King in Chinkwood, because I grew up in Chinkwood.
Yeah.
And there was one on the main road in Chinkwood Mount, if anybody knows.
Yeah.
And I was always there getting that fries.
Five Guys are not fans, I won't even lie. I do not even like Five Guys.
You don't like them?
Nike in there, nah.
To be
I had it
fair,
once, then
To be fair, I don't really eat from there anymore.
Yeah.
But if there's a fries going, then I'll grab a
You
fry.
grab that,
Yeah.
right, actually, a few more, my bro. Get back to it.
I don't want to be discriminated.
What's your favourite emoji to use when flirting? Who writes these?
Yeah. I can't lie. I haven't flirted in a while. I've been. I don't even know. Probably the eyes. That's a universal one.
That
like,
is.
Yeah. That's
Several eyes.
flirting 101.
Yeah, several eyes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright. Maybe you actually let's see what this one's saying. Okay. Your favourite celebrity crush invites you to their hotel for a one-time VIP intimate experience, but you have a partner. What are you doing?
Gonna get me in trouble. To be fair, my partner now, I'd like to think she knows who my celebrity crush
Who
is.
is your favourite celebrity crush?
Who is it now, right now? I don't even know, to be honest.
Who was it before then?
It's changed. It's changed so many times. I can't even keep up with myself.
You gotta give a celebrity crush still.
When I was young,
Yeah.
it was J-Lo.
Okay.
I'm talking primary school days.
Okay,
And
so when you
up
got
until-
older, then now, older now.
And then into school days when I even met my partner, because I've been with my partner for
Yeah,
school
yeah,
days
yeah.
ago. So yeah, she knows about J-Lo. But so I'll say that to say hopefully she would understand something like that.
Yeah.
But if somebody of recent, Rihanna, could get it. And hopefully my partner would understand.
As in, so what? When you say understand, as in what? You're gonna go?
I'll go and be like, sorry babe, I'll go.
Yeah, that's still. So it's gonna go down. You want to pass for that?
Do I have the
No,
possibility?
you want to pass for that? I'm saying.
I thought I had to answer.
No, you do. But I'm saying, obviously, your favorite celebrity crush invites you to their hotel for a one-time VIP intimate experience.
I guess I can say no.
But you have a partner. What you get?
Yeah.
But then this is the thing.
I'm gonna have to say no for the sake of the camera.
Vice versa. Yeah, I'll get past. Yeah, you got to pass me for that. But then
Yeah.
But this is the thing with this question here. It's like we had one person that answered this. Like, it's not a trick question. It's like you can literally be like, yeah, I'm going, but then I'm not doing it because I'm going because of this. But then obviously the way the question is asked obviously makes you think.
Yeah, it's because it has the word crush.
Intimate, VIP. Yeah, you get me.
It's all of that. But me and my girl, we have a good relationship. Like we can banter about stuff like that. So
that's so you get in trouble.
Yeah, I won't get in trouble.
You get it.
But yeah, like you said, we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We could just go and watch Netflix or play PS5, which is one.
Last question. Last question still. How do you tell somebody you're not interested in them? We're gonna ask another one because you got a partner.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, for that question, I just ignored it.
Yeah, that's straight. That is it.
That's it.
That's the last one.
As wild as that sounds.
If you could check something off your bucket list today, what would it be?
That's a hard one. I've got a few things that I need to check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite vague, but
what would I do? Definitely want to visit some more countries. I want to do a tour of Africa. Yeah.
So you could do that today.
Take
that straight off.
Take that straight off. Just do every African country.
Okay.
The whole continent.
Wicked. Cool. Well, that's the game. You survived. Still there. You get me. Cool. So I'm gonna ask, what would you say that are the tools and equipment needed for someone to be a successful videographer? Tools and equipment in a sense.
So the thing is, with a videographer is different to a director. So a videographer is somebody that will shoot, and they might not necessarily do music videos. A videographer could do commercials. They could do brand work. A videographer is just an overall term for somebody that films. Whereas a director, they don't even necessarily need a camera. They just need a vision. So if we're talking about videographer, somebody that owns a camera,
so shoots.
So that shoots,
and all of that
then
stuff,
obviously you need the camera, you need some lenses to go with it, all the things to make up that package, memory card, batteries, etc., etc. It depends on your shooting style as well. I like to use a stabilizer, but at the same time I like to use tripods, and I like to do handhelds as well. So if you can afford it, get them all, and then try and vary and just discover what your style is, and switch it up at times. So not all your stuff looks the same. Lights are definitely important. You're definitely going to need lights, but again, if you're just getting started or you're just focusing on director, there's people that dedicate their career to just handling lights. Like you've got gaffers, you've got sparks, and those people are what come in and set up the lights and own the lights, and
so you basically hire it from them.
You hire it from them, or hire their service, so they'll come themselves to set it up for you.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, even saying that, you'll be surprised at how many obviously videographers offering a service that they don't come with lights. So I just always think I don't know if it's just me. It definitely ain't just me. Obviously, it's not just me. But
I can't lie. I'll probably sport you back in the day. So coming with everything.
And
I had to, because I didn't know any people that could help me and offer.
But I just thought everyone would just have all of that stuff. To be fair, that is the starter pack, no? The starter kit in a sense. Obviously, have the camera, the lens, obviously the battery, and the lights. That's the starter kit, really.
For me, definitely.
Because even back then, others was the same thing. You wouldn't get someone that you just be like, you come to the thing, and then they're thinking, what? Are we shooting in the light? Or if we're shooting in the dark, I don't have a light.
So I think here I am. Did I have lights for that? I don't think I did.
So you had one light, I'm sure.
If I did have one light, it would have been probably the cheapest
light,
20, 30 pound light.
But I'm sure it was
just one,
one light. It was one light, but it was quite lit up.
And I remember us only shooting in areas where there were street lights. But when I first started, I didn't have lights, and then I would make it work for the shoot. Like if you wanted to shoot at night, I'll just say yes and make it happen, make it work. But not everybody has the kit and even desires to buy the kit, because there's other people out there that can hire it from, and they expect whoever's paying for it to pay for that. Because that's how it normally works. Like in Hollywood, everybody has their role, and everybody has their own set of kit, and everybody knows what they're doing, and the paths don't cross. You'll never see somebody that's setting up the light come and help set up the camera. Or the person setting up the camera come and give advice to the director.
It's literally everyone just has stay in their lane. Makes sense.
So that's how it's meant to work. And it's only now that's becoming a thing in the music video world in the UK, probably in the last 5 years. Before that, it was one man with the camera, the lights, the lenses,
everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Like, I mean, but obviously it's good. It's a good thing because I've even saved myself on shoot because I'll ask the videographer like, yo, you get me, you got your lights? Say, oh, my lights. I got lights. That's why you get me. Before back in the day, I always all the equipment, so I have it myself. Do you understand?
You can give it and offer it.
Yeah, in a sense that 100%. Because you can definitely barter with people now when you think, bro, I got the lights. You get me, kind of thing. We couldn't have done this without my lights. You get it? So I guess that makes sense.
That's a good thing for artists because there's not many people that think like you, where artists will buy their own kit because, like you said, and like I've just said, it's not every director and videographer or whatever they would call themselves, or whatever you want to call yourself, has all the types of equipment that may be needed for a certain project. 100%.
And the thing about that is as well, is that sometimes, but this shit is expensive. Like, you get me, shit is expensive. You get me? So there's times where you think, how am I gonna save? I can't afford to pay this for that, and then that's just a video. Then there's everything else, the marketing, the promo, everything that goes with it. Do you understand? So sometimes you try to cut back on money to try to save yourself something. So sometimes it does work to like have your own camera, have your own disc, and just get creative with it. Like, and then sometimes the only thing you probably end up having to pay for is to get edited. Do you understand that? There's a lot of certain videos that I've done where I've just pretty much shot it myself in the sense of like, I just give it to someone, I directed how to got the little gimbal thing, the little action cam, all that little stuff, like, you get it? And then I've got my lights, and then just get somebody to edit it. And you know. And
then even on the topic of editing as well, there's not a lot of, a few directors don't know how to edit either. So they have the vision, they can make something look sick, but they might not necessarily know how to edit. So
and this is
where
you
have to pass it on, and that's an extra cost.
This is where, listen, this is what I've been getting. I'm telling you, bro, that I've just been getting mad because I just feel like if you're offering a service, that you can't offer a service and then you're charging this amount, but then it's like I can only do this or I can't do this. I don't want to. Again, I must have been spoiled because I come from with you. Like, you can do everything. Do you understand? Like, you just understood. Like, and then boom. Do you understand? Yeah. And the thing about me, as you know, I'm a person who I'm not difficult to work with. I come with everything. So then it's not even difficult for you now. It's just like, okay, well, he told me what he wants. I'm gonna add my vision, and then we're gonna get this stuff.
Make it happen.
Like, it's just. It is what it is, though.
Again, going back to what I was saying with how Hollywood works and how like the proper film industry, not just Hollywood, even here in any film industry works. Like everybody has their role, and again, the director might not necessarily know how to edit at all. Like he might have shot a whole £10 million film, and he has no idea how to edit it.
100%.
So,
I take that off, and then I'll be like, I direct my own shit in a sense, you get me? Because I come with my direction of how I want it to be. So it's like, you don't need to do that. You just do this, like, you get me? But I hear that.
And that's another thing. A lot of artists do technically direct their own videos. The only things they don't do is like do the treatment, perhaps, or come up with ways of making it look good. Because obviously you can't really, because you're in front of the camera, you don't know how to set maybe a light up or do a certain technique in the camera, etc., etc. But you've got the vision, and then obviously you share it with the director, and in a way, you are directing.
So in a treatment, what's the typical treatment like then? In a sense.
So how I do my treatments is I'll kind of have a brief page, and I'll just write what the treatment's about, what the music video is about, and then I'll break down, depending on what it is. If it's a performance-based video, then I'll list off all the different performances, and then all the different cutaways that I want to get, and then maybe I'll put some references to other videos that I want it to look like. Maybe I'll put in a mood board of how I want it to visually come across and look, and then that's kind of the bog standard of a treatment. And then if there's storyline to it, then I might start breaking down different acts and the different scenes, and I'm right. Cool, so scene 1, this guy gets chased, for example, and then scene 2, this happens. So
is that, everyone uses the treatments, never enough or?
Well, it depends, because like,
I mean, who is it that brings the treatment? Is it like
the director? So the director is always the one to write a treatment. So they'll do the treatment, they'll do the mood board, they'll do the storyboard, they'll basically do everything pre-production wise to help visually get the idea across to the artist, the label, anybody that's involved. So that's typically how a treatment comes to life. And then how I visually get, like, I know you're going to ask the question, but how I visually get inspiration is I'll just go out and watch stuff, or maybe I've even got a treatment kind of pack where I've just listed off different things that I've seen.
Okay.
And I put them all in this pack so I can draw from them when I feel that song is worthy of that idea. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm always watching stuff with the mindset of maybe I can use that
100%.
somewhere, and then I'll save it, screenshot it. And
I'm like that with like when I go certain places and I just automatically I'm always in this zone where like I could shoot a video here. Like you know what I'm saying? Location wise, it doesn't. Like always at sometimes this would be a 6-month for a video, and then get through the idea. Because remember, I am still, but I was the person who like where I would write a song, whatever. I'm writing it, but visualizing the video idea already. Whereas there's people who do the opposite of that. They don't even visualize the video yet until it's time for the video, and then sometimes they just get stuck like that. So it's as an artist, you kind of need to do it, or you don't. Well, I say you need to, you don't necessarily have to, because like I said, there are people that just do the song and they focus on the music and don't think about the visual. But I like visuals.
If you're a visual kind of person, and especially if you're writing something that has a story to it, or there's truth to it, you're going to visualize it.
1000%. So I do like as well what you do on your, I think it's on your Instagram and your link tree. I'll put that down for people to go follow. But where you have a list of like was it the film assets and the actual equipment that you use, so it's like your start kit, like Kevin Hudson's start kit. You get me? Like, I like that though, because it's spreading information. You get that to people who don't know where to start, or if they're trying to start or whatever. Now, if you can't, or
if they want to start on my level.
Exactly. Do you understand? So that's good though that you do that.
One thing, like going back to what I was saying with YouTube, back in the day they weren't a lot. And even if you ask certain directors, because I got to a point where I was meeting other directors and I was talking to them, asking them questions, and it's like they wanted to gatekeep. Like they didn't necessarily want to tell me how to do a certain thing. So now that I'm in a position, most people that message me, or if I come into contact with people, I always try and help them. 100%. And if I can't help them, that's why I put out my tutorials and I put out my stuff on my link tree and this and that. So I might not necessarily speak to you direct, or you might not meet me, but there's enough information out there to learn from.
100%. I hear that still. So what is your take on the music industry now as a whole? How do you?
It's in a good place because everyone's making money now.
100%. That's always good.
But at the same time, that's a pro and a con, because back in the day, when it was more about the music, it was more wholesome. Like 100%. You'll see 10 people jump on one song and do a mad remix. The last person to do that was probably Krept and Conan with the That Way remix, and they're known for doing that. But that was a regular thing back in the day, 100%. And people just did it for the love of music.
100%.
Whereas now, because there's money involved, it's like an artist has to speak to their label, and then that artist has to speak to their management, and distribution. It's all long. Like there's too much take around certain things and too much politics to just make things happen.
But then I was gonna say, even with you like shooting, obviously you're getting. How do you obviously where you're shooting a lot, and obviously the money's coming in. How do you balance that, when where it's not just about the money and it's just still about the passion and the love for it? Because there's people that can get lost in that and then lose their passion in it, but they just I've known many people that they get mad bookings but they're just not passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just about the money.
It's good that you mentioned that, because right now I'm in that position where I think the whole of last year I felt myself losing my love for this, because I was just not doing projects I enjoyed, and I weren't fulfilling myself with what I enjoyed doing, basically. So
get into the bag, but at the same time it's
it's not fulfilling me anymore, and that's mainly because I've been doing music videos for too long. I feel like I've overstayed my welcome in the music space. I've been doing it for 10 plus years. That's one, and then two, I always wanted to go over to doing film, and I've always watched film, but I'm now watching films from a standpoint of I could create that, or
100%.
They should have done this different, or if I do something like that, I'm gonna make it this way, blah blah blah. So I'm thinking more from a film director headspace. So when I'm coming back to do a music video, it's like, unless it's like a storyline driven thing, then it's not really tickling me. Yeah.
So with even that, how do you get yourself back into that zone? Do you like take a step back, or what do you do? Like?
Yeah. So what I did at the end of last year, for example, because December and January is always like a slower period for music videos. So during that time, I started just filming stuff at home, like doing random skits and doing random.
Oh, I see what you did. Your page is fucking funny. I see what you did. Your page is funny, and it looks so crisp. Do you know what I'm saying? It just looks mad. But anyway,
so I've been doing those things. I've been doing things on my YouTube where I might do a tutorial, but I make it look very dramatic and very cinematic.
Okay.
I'm more focusing on the image and the framing and me telling a story as opposed to just filming for the sake of filming.
100%.
So yeah.
Yo people, peace and prosperity. This is your most valuable voices team, and this episode is sponsored by Tax Free. Yes, you know we have to do it for the culture, so
that's why we're bringing you an exclusive discount, 15%, code MVV. Found in the link in the description below. Go there, copy yours, and be ready.
Yes, that is MVV15. When you go on the website to copy your drip, type that in, 15%. Yeah, let's get it.
That's what I've been doing.
You just basically tap into your creative.
Tapping back into creative and why I enjoyed and loved doing filming, because last year I was thinking, wow, am I really falling out of love with filming? But then I realised, no, it's just what I'm filming. It's I'm not.
I had a similar thing. Like even that I had to ask myself, I love with the music. Like, I don't think that can never happen. But everything being so saturated, like it's like sometimes it's even like outside energy that kind of just falls on you, and you're thinking, like in order to do this, like they've just set some type of mad norm with everything. So it's like in order to do this, you have to do that. In order to get there, you have to do that. Whereas me, I'm a rebellious, so I feel like I don't have to do none of that. As much as you do have to take little things and do certain things, but sometimes I was in the same thing. I just thought, let me go and relax myself and get back into like why and what I love. Do you understand?
And that's going back to what we were saying with the industry now, and now that money's involved, there's certain ways that and certain protocols that you have to follow to get your music out the right way, if you want to call it that. Because whereas back in the day you could just throw something up on SoundCloud or on YouTube and it blows up. Whereas now you kind of have to put it on Spotify, sign up to certain things, this and that, and just to be heard, and you might not even necessarily be heard, because like you said, it's saturated.
100%. And even I feel like with like the creativity wise of like, again, it's very like much like cloud based. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you have a name, you have followers, you can do something that I say I would do, and that's my creative thing. No one sees it that way. But obviously, if you have clout, a name, notoriety, they do it. Mad creative. I've seen it. Guys, mad creative. He's the most creative. Like, do you understand that?
And you've done it 5 years ago.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but
it's,
and that's just the difference. But again, I can't ever like you can't cry over them kind of things. I remember I used to go on many rants and all that shit back in the day. Like, just thinking, what the fuck is all this shit? Like X Y Z. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Like you literally have to keep continuing to reinvent yourself, especially when you don't want to go against yourself and your morals and your standpoint, what you stand for. You understand? So that's another battle within itself. Do you get it? So
100%.
But it's important to just stay you in the mix of the storm. The mix of the BS and all of that stuff as well. You know what I'm saying?
That's the most important thing. And then sometimes if that means taking a step back, then you do it. If it takes you a year, 2 years, just take a step back and rejuvenate yourself. 100%. Get back to what you know and who you are.
What you love. So what? So this is I'm assuming it's just taking you near enough around the world, like filming.
Like so that's another good thing about filming. It's definitely allows me to it pays for itself. It's allowed me to travel basically. Something that I've always wanted to do, but I've just not got around to doing it. So
doing it while working.
And doing it while working. So
that's the life.
It's definitely a blessing, and the fact that it pays for itself, or whoever's flying you out pays for it. So it's
Get flown out.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, I always ask this anyway on this on my talk show. And obviously my co-hosts they were always like, oh yeah, but it's very vague. Like, why do you ask that? But I always ask it anyway. It's like, what is your end goal? I know it's about, it is bad, but everyone always says it's mad, but then they ask you. What is your end goal?
There's.
There could be many as well.
There's a few, and over the years it's changed. Like when I said, when I first started, I never thought I'd be here, and this was probably my end goal, to just be here.
100.
So now that I'm here, it's like, my end goal probably in the next 10 years is to be in film, definitely be in film, definitely have had film maybe.
You say next 10 years, you said?
Or maybe even before that, 5 years.
You said 10 years, cool,
But let's say 5 years, I wanted to have had at least 2 or 3 feature films that I've done, and be established in the film world, because it doesn't matter how big you are in the music video world, that's a whole other world. A lot of the directors and just people from that world probably don't even know who I am. Because, the worlds are just so different. So what I've done here, I want to take that over to that side. 100%. And then I'm business orientated. Like I said, I've always been good with finances, and I know how to invest and run a business here and there. So I want my production company to be up there as well. So
is it the Motionist?
The Motionist,
the production company, the Motionist.
The Motionist. So I want that to be up there, and
that's your production company.
So I want that to have its own name, because right now, for example, if I stop working, obviously the Motionist is gonna fail. So So I want that to have its own name and its own legs.
Start working for itself.
Start working for itself. Have directors under there and just producing content, whether it's music videos, films, like I said, whatever. Let that do its thing, and maybe even just have a big production space as well.
100%.
So
I love that.
Let's say there was a building like this, for example, and I had many acres, and then I just had loads of different rooms with different sets, and then maybe I had an outside section where I could build stuff and just do crazy stuff.
You know what? I recently started following. Is it Antoine Dixon or something? He's got that. So, he's their major things as well. You know what I'm saying?
Big enough. He's definitely an inspiration. To what he's done in previous years.
It's mad, I got into him so late, but obviously where I watch Earn Your Leisure, that channel. He was on there, so I was just like, wow, what? He's in the UK? I didn't even know.
I've known Anton for a while now, because he's got a studio. It's not too far from here actually. He's got a studio around the corner from here, and I've shot there quite a few times, and he's got a rental house as well, and I've rented equipment from him.
That's what he does, isn't it?
So he's big in this film world. So seeing him grow and grow, it's been good. It just shows you that it's possible.
100%. You're touching, obviously, touching hands with people. So that's good to go, my bro. Trust me. And I'm definitely proud of where you've gone, where you're at. You know what I'm saying? It's always just been there from the beginning, anyway. Do you understand? So you already know what it is. But just before we go quickly, Link Up TV versus Grand Daily. We're not pitting them together. I don't know. Obviously, it was a competitive rivalry in a sense, and they still are. But I just want to know, obviously, where you've been. In between them or whatever. Not. I don't know. What mood do you get from Link Up TV and Grand Daily? Because I do think there's a difference. So you did mention earlier a bit about now they're trying to go Link Up trying to go into this lifestyle XYZ. So maybe that's what it is.
So right now, in terms of where they both stand, like I said, Link Up's more of a lifestyle channel now. It's like documentaries. It's not focused solely around releasing music. It's still around music, because like the other day they did a Channel U documentary, and that's still obviously around music. And then they do documentaries on artists with their closer series, etc. So they're still doing that. And GRM are doing what they've always been known to do, like the freestyle series, releasing music videos, so on and so forth. But back when, there's always been like a friendly rivalry, and obviously Rashid and Posey, they're good friends.
Of course.
And like anything, you need competition to
course,
grow.
of course.
I was even saying to my girl the other day, like, I was trying to encourage her and get her into the business world of things. I was like, do you think Apple would be where it is without Samsung? And do you think Adidas would be where it is without Nike?
Yeah, 100%.
So
that's a sick way to look at things as well. Though,
like you need competition to survive. So
100%.
that's how Link Up and JRM are surviving now.
They're thriving crazy.
They need each other. If there was just a GRM or just a SB or just a Link Up, they might not have been as big as they are.
100%.
So it's friendly competition, and it's I think they'll continue to grow.
Definitely. Still, just a last word just for the most valuable viewers out there. Just something to just take away. Last word or something, bro.
What can I say to the viewers?
You said a lot, but
Yeah, if anything, just stay up to date with what I'm doing. Like I said, trying to get into the film world now. So there'll be a lot of that stuff coming. This year my goal is to, I know I said I want to do features, but it's going to start with short films first. So my goal is to do 2 short films, and then hopefully I'm going to get that out there. So just stay locked in, subscribe to the YouTube, follow me on Instagram. The link tree will probably be somewhere there, and that will have everything on it. So
stay updated. You get, bro. Appreciate you for coming in, bro. It's been a pleasure, bro. You get me. Yeah. So this is Most Valuable Voice with Jimmy Papez. We out. Peace.